Hello, welcome to A Crocheter's Journal. My name is Roxanne. I will be your host today. And this is take two because I have to figure out something with my phone. It only likes to go so far and then shuts off. So we're going to try to get through this, and then I might have to look for a better camera. Anyway, hopefully I don't forget anything. I do have my notes. I do have my list. I have been working on a lot of things. I've been busy at work, so I'm a little bit late today. But usually I do it every 2 weeks, but about 5 days behind, and that's okay. So the first thing I wanted to show you is my finished object. So what I normally do, I'm going to show you a picture because I don't have it anymore. What I normally do is I talk about my finished objects, my works in progress, and the things I've casted on, and then a few other topics. But I'm not sure how much time I have, so I'm going to try to keep this within 30 minutes. We'll see if I can pull that off. All right, so the Christmas tree hat. The Christmas tree hat for my grandson is complete. I did give it to them. I'm super, super happy with it. Here he is wearing it. Now mine does not have a garland. I had to put a garland on his. I just took some Lion Brand yarn. It's a worsted weight. I think it's called glitter. I can't remember. Either way, it's gold, and look at that baby boy. Look at him wearing his hat. It turned out really cute. I'm very, very happy with it. As you can see, it's got some little light buttons or beads, and then it's got the garland, and it's got a star crocheted on top, and then they're two put together to keep it a little firmer, and then those little balls are from the craft department at Walmart. Super simple. I did tell my daughter-in-law not to leave him alone with it. He still puts everything in his mouth. I don't want him to eat those buttons, choke, that kind of stuff. But it is finished. She's really good about that stuff. She's a great mom. He looks just like her too. He doesn't really look much like my son, but he's just so cute. We just love him so much. He's the only one we have, the only grandchild. So yeah, now he's got a Christmas tree hat like Grandma does. So I don't know if we'll ever do anything together, both wearing the hats, but who knows? But I want him to enjoy it for December because I enjoy my hat the whole month of December. That's the hat I wear. So the second thing I wanted to share with you that was finished, and I did not finish it this year. This is a throwback. I like to do a throwback project that I've done in the past. And this one's just Christmas themed, so I thought it was cute. And it's this guy right here. It is my little Grinch amigurumi I did with mercerized cotton with some safety eyes. And it turns out so cute. It is an Etsy pattern. Just adorable. She does such a good job with writing us so that you have such a good little, like you stuff it so that it fills it in properly. But it's got so much character in the face. So much character. It's kind of little dimples. And then you put this little bit of yellow on each side to give the eyes a little dimension. It's phenomenal. It's a great pattern. I just thought he turned out so cute. So I wanted to share that with you. I'll link on as many patterns as I can below. The Christmas tree hat is a hodgepodge. I just put it together using different patterns, different ideas. I used the pumpkin hat pattern from the previous episodes, a crocheted star I found online. I just made it. There was another pattern called elf hat and Christmas tree hat and elf socks. That one I kind of used for the decreases. I'll link that, and then you guys can look at that. It's a free pattern. Maybe there's something that would inspire you to make that little kit. But that's what or set, not a kit, but that's what I made kind of the idea for his hat. I just built it off of the worsted weight and needles from the pumpkin hat, and just used the other pattern for the decreases for the tree. So I started doing something. You guys know I had hurt my shoulder and I needed to take some break in between. So I decided to do some sewing for project bags because I don't have a lot of project bags. So I found this free pattern online and I thought I would try it and see if I liked it, and I really like it. So I just did this simple one. It was just Halloween fabric with this little gingham inside. Isn't that cute? And then it's got a little, one of those little loops to grab. I have a bunch of different colored zippers. They call for 12-inch zippers. These were 18, so you just cut them down. But I like it has a gusset. It's a very easy pattern to do. I did this in a couple hours, and then I have these little tags with my name on them. So I thought, I'm putting that on there. And I liked it so much that I did another one with cats and yarn. I love knitting. Look at that. Didn't that turn out cute? Super happy with that. With a matching tab. And then on the inside, you have cats, and I made it so that they face the same direction because if I didn't like the pattern, I didn't want to go through all the trouble to do all the different extras. That's why I just did the Halloween pattern, or the Halloween fabric, just plain. But I like it when they have these two different colors. And now I would like to do another one with the vinyl window that you can see through. We have some of that at work. I'll probably get some of that vinyl stuff too. I work in a long arm machine quilting shop, and we do have some fabric, and they have some vinyl. So I will probably make one this size, and then I wouldn't mind doing a bigger one for like the shawls and some of the sweaters and some of the bigger projects. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my project that I'm working on that I did not work, it's not an active work in progress right now, but the Hocus Pocus dolls that I'm making, I will be putting that into this bag because Halloween, and I'm not sure what's going in here, but I'm thinking it's going to be a pair of socks that I'm going to be working on. Will probably go in this bag, and then the little bags that they're currently in, they'll get moved to something else. But I'm trying to get rid of Ziploc bags and Walmart plastic bags for projects, which is what I've been doing a lot. The other thing I finished, and I put them on so they're already dirty. I finished them yesterday. I put them right on, and I love them. My green socks are done. I am loving these little shorty socks. They get done pretty fast. Now I used this green light. It's a light fingering. It's not a regular fingering. It's a little bit lighter, and it's not a lace weight. It's heavier than that. It's odd. And so it's acrylic. I have tons of different colors. I've been using this in all sorts of projects, and I'm liking it. I have a lot. I mean, one skein is like 600 yards. It's a lot. And then I had this silk from Silk Variegated from a subscription box from Darn Good Yarn. I think is what they're called. Darn Good Yarn. And so I marled it for these. And I wrote the pattern out in my notebook so that I have all of my notes, so I can make more of these just using a different base I still have, doesn't even use a whole ball of this. So I have like 2 of these plus another one to make more socks, but they're super cozy. I thought, and they're simple. I'm still getting the hang of socks. And then I'll start doing some crazy stuff like different cuffs and different heels, different toes. But I did about 5.5 inches here between the gusset and starting the toe. I thought it would be too tight, but they felt comfy. I wear shorty socks all the time. Summer, winter, doesn't matter. So I want to get a whole set of them. I think I will do the next one with a size 6, or not a size 6, a 6-inch length, and see like what I like better. Because I was afraid they were a little bit going to be too tight, but they were cozy. They were really cozy. Super happy about those. I also finished this cowl that I'm making for a gift from my friend, and I'm really happy with it. So she can wear it like this, or she can double it and wear it like this. We live in Wisconsin. We shovel a lot of snow. We're outside, and she does a lot of stuff outside anyway. And so she can wear this, or if you twist it twice, it's a little tighter. And so my husband did that. He twisted it twice by accident, and I was like, oh, you twisted it too tight. And then I thought, no, that's perfect, because then if you want it a little bit more snug, you just twist it 2 times. It is baby alpaca. It is delicious, and the pattern is simple. It says go 52 inches. I ran out of yarn, but maybe I needed to stretch it to get 52 inches. It wasn't 52 inches, but I just used all the yarn and it was plenty. But it's a purl 1, knit 1 below, purl 1, knit 1 below, and it gives you these ridges, and it's reversible. It's just squishy and delicious. So yeah, so I got that done. I have a horribly ugly seam, but it's fine because when she twists and puts it on, she can put that to the back. I don't know how I could have done that different, but I also was just ready to move on. So it's good enough. I'm gonna do a lot of it's good enough knitting. It's good enough knitting. So that's done, and I feel really good about that. And the last thing I made was this little ornament. I'm doing a party. I'm going to a party with some friends. It's an ugly sweater party and ornament exchange. And so I made this little ornament out of wool, and then I just crocheted this out of some blue mercerized cotton for the hanger. Now that I look at it, I probably will embroider 2023 on the back. I don't know. I don't know if it's necessary, but yeah, I might do that. Tell me what you think. 2023 or just leave it. I think it's cute. I got the pattern on Etsy. Really simple, really easy. And it gave my shoulder a break. So yeah, I think it turned out pretty cute. I'm happy with it. So works in progress. I had a lot of works in progress, but I was finishing them. So my finished objects list just kept getting longer and longer. And so one thing I worked on was, I talked about this before, my mom makes granny squares for me to put together, and then we make lap gowns for the nursing home. I got 3 rows of the 5 I need for this one. We're doing blues because I wanted to do something that could be for male or female. Not that color matters, but everyone has favorite colors, and I wanted something that wasn't more feminine. So I'm that far on that. And the other side will have the same pattern with the different colors. I went with blues. This is the same color blue that I'm using for my husband's hat. Oh, we're not to that part yet. Same color blue. I don't know if you guys remember, I had all these skeins of yarn I didn't know what to do with, and everyone sent me some really great ideas. I really appreciate it. And then I realized I could also use the blue to go around this, and then hats. So we'll get to that. But anyway, that's how far I am on that. Not super far, but you know, they're small, they don't take long. But then Christmas season came, and I kind of set that aside. For the embroidery, well, I've been resting my shoulder, and it's working. I've been doing light therapy. I've been resting it, doing small batches of knitting, and it's definitely feeling a lot better. But I'm almost done. I'm not quite. Everything is on there. All the pieces are on there. I just have to sew down a few of the leaves, a couple of these little berries, and then across here. And then there's some smoke that comes out at the top. So I will show it to you once it's all done, but it's not going to look much different than this. But it's a gingerbread house, but I told my husband it reminds me of Hansel and Gretel's witches, the witches house. And so I think I'm going to hang it up year round. I have a place in my sunroom that I think would look really, really cute. It's just, I don't know, it's cute. It's pretty. I like the colors. And I'm really okay with some decor just being all the time. Especially when you live up here in Wisconsin. I used to have snowmen up year round because we live in snow so much. So, but we'll see. But when I get it all done, it should be done by the time I'm podcast again. The other embroidery I worked on was my mandala. It's pretty. It's just pretty. It's from this book that the pictures are gorgeous. And I love mandalas and I love embroidery. It's very therapeutic. It's very relaxing. I mean, and the book is just, it's just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. And there are iron-ons in the back. And so, so I work on that when I want to visit with my friends and do something that I don't have to pay much attention to, but it's not knitting. I have, you know, mindless crochet, mindless knitting, and mindless embroidery. And that's I did get a chance to work on that a little bit. I have decided to scrap the idea of getting a bunch of cup cozies done for the holidays because I don't want that pressure. I'm still going to make them. I still have the cups. I will make some crocheted, and I will do some that are felted. I have some wool felt, and then I have a bunch of felted wool, just beautiful felted wool. I cut out some pennies, and then once I started getting these little penny rounds cut out and these leaves cut out, I realized this is going to take me a while, and this isn't how I want to spend my time. And I'm really trying to honor my feelings when it comes to my projects. I used to force myself to do stuff because I'd have this idea, and I'm not doing that anymore. And so I'm like, it'll happen, but it's not going to happen for the holidays. I will continue to make things for my gift wardrobe where I keep all the different handmade items that I think will make nice gifts for people, that I would enjoy making, and I just set them aside until I need them. And then I don't have to rush to finish a project for an occasion. I've got baby blankets and baby toys and Afghans and baby sweaters and cup cozies and mug rugs and things like that. So that is what I'm going to do with those. And that just feels really, really good. So my husband lost his hat, which if you knew my husband, that's so normal, so typical. So I bought him another hat. He only has one though. And I'm like, you need more than one hat. I mean, that just sounds terrible. So I started a hat. Started it yesterday. It's size 6 and size 7 needles. It's a free pattern from Karen Simply Soft Yarn. Karen Yarn, they use Simply Soft for the pattern. It is written for flat and then seaming, which I don't want to do that. So I did put it into the round. I had to change the stitch count a little bit, but it calls for 6 inches of ribbing, 2x2 ribbing, and I do not want to do 6 inches, and my husband doesn't really want the brim. So I said perfect, because that's the brim that folds up. So I'll do 3 inches of 2x2 ribbing. Then you switch to one size needle higher for the rest of the hat. So I'm going to give it a try. And I saw this on somebody else's podcast, and she's made a bunch of them for her husband. He also doesn't want the brim. And I'm like, perfect. She also did muscle burrow, but I decided not to do that one yet. I do want to do that eventually. But I just want to get some basic hats done to have extra around the house for when my husband misplaces the hat I just got for him today, which he will. I love him. All right, so that's the hat. That is my new project because I finished 2. Remember, I'm doing the finish 2, so you can start at one new one. I got 2 projects off the list. I finished the Cowl present and Oliver's tree hat. So then I was able to start my husband's hat. And then I'm doing this funky thing. I went to the thrift store and I found this sweater. I was looking for an ugly Christmas sweater for this party. And I came across this sweater and I just loved it. It's just made with acrylic yarn. So it's nothing fancy, but it's the color, the yarn was so pretty. And I'll just show you. Like, look at, it's so pretty. It's loose and open. So I bought it for $4 and I'm frocking it because I want the yarn. And so I already took one sleeve apart. That was this morning. This is the yarn. This is one sleeve and it's 30 grams, almost 31 grams of yarn. And so there's still another sleeve and the front and the back. And so it's quite a bit. It is lace weight held double. So it makes a light fingering, which, you know, light fingering. So I was watching Sock Ladies Vlogmas and having a ball because I've never watched Vlogmas and I've never done an advent calendar yarn, which I will be doing advent calendar next year because I don't want to miss out on that fun. That looks amazing. And she was wearing this granny stripe shawl that was so cute. So I left a comment about how much I loved it. Did she have a pattern? It was in her description. I didn't even think to look. I don't know why I didn't think to look. I just was too busy going, oh, I would love to make that. And so the pattern was linked and I looked it up and it's bulky weight, but she did hers in fingering weight. So I thought, I think I'm going to make this lightweight shawl crochet, I think, with this and matching of this. I have several matching. So it's these colors. It's these colors. And I'm not starting it yet. This is just for future because I haven't finished projects yet. But I've got some of this green. I've got some of this blue. I've got a bright red. I've got a burgundy. I've got a cream. And I'm actually going to look and see if I can find a purple to match this because I would like a purple in there. So I'm going to go online and see if I can order. It's this stuff. You get it at Michael's or Joann's, I think. It's 100% acrylic, so it's all be acrylic. Super lightweight, very drapey. I had thought originally for socks, and then I thought for maybe for a hat, but then I saw that shawl, and it was so pretty. So I'm frogging that to get that ready for a project. So yes, So, you know, a project, but not a project. So I'm not counting it because I haven't started anything. So there's that. Another, oh, that was, Matt's was actually cast on. I jumped ahead. I'm also working on Matt's quilt. I made a t-shirt quilt for Matt a couple years ago. All it needs is a binding and a few accessories from this jacket he had sewn onto the top. I am going to finish that and bind it and put it under the tree. He doesn't know it's coming. I'm super excited. He has all his band shirts from all the concerts he's been to. So I'm super excited, and we even have a place already to hang it. I made it specifically to fit in that spot, and then I just didn't finish it. And so I'm going to finish it, and so we can hang it. He has no idea. He's going to be very, very, very excited. So I'm super pumped about that. So that's what I decided where I wanted to spend more of my Christmas making time, was for stuff like that. The other cast on that it's not a cast on yet either. It's another prepping. The other darn good yarn that I had gotten, that's silk. It's a sport weight. I got 3 skeins of it. Don't know what to do with the silk. It make a beautiful shawl, but I only need so many shawls. I'd rather have socks. So it's called Pomegranate Fizz, and it's really, really pretty. And I am doubling it with this red acrylic. It looks a little orangey in here, but trust me, it's like a cranberry red. It looks like, this light, it looks a little orange, but it's actually Christmas red. And it goes beautifully with this. I did a couple of swatches. It makes like a sport weight though, when you hold them double. No, a DK. It makes a DK, which is pretty thick. But that's okay they'll whip up so fast. So I did a size 2 needle and I did a size 3 needle swatch to see how many stitches per inch. And I think the size 3 is better on my hands. Yeah, I might even do a size 4 swatch just to see how that feels. But this will go together into some kind of project. I'm just not sure what yet. This is probably what I'm going to put into my red bag because it does not fit in this bag. But this is just prep work. I just want to use these yarns together, and it'll either be, I think it'll also make a beautiful hat. And I probably have enough to do both a socks and a hat. But if you have any ideas, throw them out. Put them in the comments. I would love to hear it. Because it is beautiful though. And I have this, like I said, I have tons of this. I will be putting this in with the sweater project, but also I think it would be really great doubled with this as well, because I have extra. So we'll swatch that out and just kind of see what it looks like. But yeah, so that's the cast-ons. I really only have 1 cast on because I only finished 2 projects completely. The cowl and the Ollie's Christmas tree hat. I'm not counting the ornament because that was a start and finish. It wasn't already on the list. It's just something that I needed to do for this party. So some few topics that I wanted to talk about. I did order 2 yarns on Black Friday. I'm super excited for them to get here. One has not been shipped yet. I think maybe she's dyeing it. I'm not sure, but it'll be here in a couple weeks. And the other one comes this week. I will show you when they come. I won't be able to start anything with them, but there's some fingering weight yarns, and they're really pretty. They're sock yarns. So I got those ordered. I had a friend who was making stuff for a craft sale. She sent me pictures, and I said, I want one of those. It's this cute little flying Yoshi. How cute. It's a free pattern from Amia Moore. I don't know if you've heard of her, but she does wonderful little amigurumi patterns, and some she sells, but a lot of them are free. It's where I got the same pattern for my little Grogu that I made, holding his little cup in his little pod. But I use acrylic weight, and this is why I like to use mercerized cotton. I just like how it works up. I'm new to amigurumi, so I know Elise Rose has some great videos about what yarn you use matters, because as they sit, they get floppy if they're not done right. So he's a little floppy, but I thought this looks so cute, and I thought I want to support her, and I would love to have something that she's made. So it's made of that plush yarn. It's super soft, super, super cute. I am also going to make a little stocking, and because I want to make it for this year, I decided I'm going to make one ornament each year for my husband and my tree. We just got our first Christmas tree. We've been married for 7 years. We've had a few little ones, but we just got our first full-size tree. It's a pencil tree because we have cats and we don't want them crawling up in it. But we love it. We absolutely love it. So I am going to take this mercerized cotton in red and white, and then some of this this yarn. It's eyelash yarn. And I'm going to make an ornament, probably a little Christmas stocking. And I'm going to make an ornament each year. My husband loves decorating for the holidays, and I love special ornaments. He loves special ornaments, and so we're working on collecting up, you know, special memories. And so I'm going to be making this as a surprise for him. I won't wait till Christmas Day, but I'm going to make it and then I'll show him. And then we'll have that for our tree. The last thing I want to talk about is gauge. Somebody had posted, can you do a video about gauge? There's tons of videos out there about gauge that are probably better than what I can do. But I will say I do a lot of gauge now. One, I like to see how the yarn is going to work up. I just like to see how it looks. So I gauged for my husband's hat. Like, I can't tell you how many projects I've done. Like, I did my grandson's hat, that pumpkin hat, and it was way too big. I had to frog the whole thing and start all over because I didn't gauge. And most of the time I do. I don't know why I didn't for that one. Also with these socks, one day, the first sock was perfect. The second sock was much smaller and I couldn't figure out why. And my friend's like, you're tense because you hurt your shoulder. So you need to go do something else to relax it and then go back to your knitting. And that worked. So, I mean, it just can really matter. And one day, my husband and I were on the road, and I wanted to make the fire pit mitts from Taylor Earl from Wool Needles Hands. And they look like this. These are mine. It's just they use worsted weight yarn, so super fast. And I brought the needles I needed, and I brought the pattern, but the yarn my husband picked, because I wanted it to be for him, he picked this Malbrigio, beautiful DK Superwash Merino. It's gorgeous. He liked the colors. And so here I am with the wrong size yarn. So I decided to do a gauge while we're traveling. I did a little gauge, and then I adjusted all the stitches so that I could start right away, and they turned out fine. He tried them on. They fit him great. I just adjusted the stitches in the pattern. But what I normally do is, like for this, I checked the gauge and it worked out. But if it didn't work out, I would just change needle size and then try it again. And then I would just keep adjusting my needle size to get the gauge that works for the pattern instead of changing the stitches, because that is a lot more work. It's easier just to change a needle size and try again and see how it turns out. So that's what I normally do. But since I was on the road and I had the needle and the pattern and the yarn already picked out, I went ahead and did a gauge and did the math, which I'm not going to explain, but I did the math to readjust. You just do some division. But there's lots of videos on YouTube that explain gauge. But basically, all gauge is you want the stitches you get per inch to match the pattern with what you're using. Because if they don't, then it's not going to be the same size. So, and I just have find, like, I will gauge this just because I want to see what it looks like. I mean, I kind of know what it looks like this way, but I want to know, this is like a machine knit something, but I want to try it. I don't know if I'm going to put it with something, put them together and marl them, or if I'm going to do like a row and then a row and then a row and then a row and then, you know what I mean? Usually it's 2 rows of the granny stripe. I haven't decided. So gauge, I'll see how the weight, how I like the weight. I'll do one with this and then one of these added, and then I'll do one where I marl them together and see how that feels. So that's why I like gauging. It's just experimenting, giving yourself permission to not rush into a project and experiment with how it looks so you can make a good decision based on, you know, what your gauges, what your little samples look like. Because then I have these little, and I don't keep these, a lot of people keep them. I just make little ones that are like 6 rows by like 30. So I want at least 4 inches. And then just enough rows so I usually don't care about length because I just keep going if I want it longer. But it's stitches per inch. Now, when I start doing sweaters, maybe that'll change. But for hats, gloves, shawls, things like that, I'm just looking at the stitch per inch widthwise, not the row, gauge. So I honestly, I just toss them. You know what I should do? I should just put them all together, make a big scarf. That would be kind of cool. Maybe I'll do that. We'll see. Anyway, that's it. I went through it pretty quickly. I would like to take more time to visit, but I'm afraid my phone's going to conk out. And so I'll try to keep them to 30 minutes. And then maybe in the future, we'll have a 45-minute podcast because I had a lot of stuff I wanted to talk about more in depth, but I'm just not risking it. It takes too much time to edit and I won't get these put up because my life is a little too busy, but maybe down the road. I would really love it to know if you do advent calendars, and if you do, which ones you enjoy the most. There'll be ones I'm looking for next year. There's a couple companies I'm already eyeballing and kind of following. I'm also on Instagram, so you can hop over there and see a few of these things before they become part of the podcast. I don't post all the time, but I do post occasionally, usually what I'm working on. And if you would like to see more of these, please subscribe because it helps me out and I would appreciate it. So, and I love comments. I love comments. So anyway, it's December 3rd. I hope you have a great next couple of weeks in the Christmas season and take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you next time.